Hi everyone. Sorry I am not here today. Remember I told you that I was going to be gone because I had an appointment this morning. So hopefully you are all being very nice to the sub. Uh, so far you should have finished your warm-up. If you finished your warm-up, we will go over it when I return next week. So don't worry about the correct answer right now. Just make sure that you have it, at least tried it. First thing that we're going to do today is I need you to get out your restaurant's demand schedule and curve. It looks like this. So it was generally, there was different classes that did different restaurants, and so some of them did Applebee's or Texas Roadhouse or TGI Fridays. So find this, and I asked you to leave some space around there. So we're going to add to this from the other day. And then you also need to have out your changes in demand chart, the one that you finished yesterday in class. So you should have both of these things out. So you should have both the changes in demand chart out and your restaurant demand schedule and curve. Okay, so once you have both of these out, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how demand can change. And so we're going to specifically focus on the restaurant that your class focused on. So somewhere around your graph, so somewhere around here, so on here I have some room on the side, or you might have room on the bottom. If you don't have any room on your restaurant demand curve, then you can write it on a different piece of paper, and you can go and write it on a different piece of paper and write it for restaurant graph. If you need paper, remember that there is extra paper over on the bookshelf. On the second shelf, there is a bunch of paper that's there that's computer paper. You can help yourself. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to write these 6 sentences on your graph someplace, somewhere near your graph. So you're going to add the following examples to your restaurant graph. So the 6 sentences say, the first one says, there will be a 2-for-1 special on Saturday at this restaurant. Number 2, this restaurant fails a health inspection. Number 3, this restaurant now offers a menu in Spanish. Number 4, a competing restaurant gets rave reviews on Facebook. Number 5, you get a raise. Number 6, more people move to the Indianapolis area. Now, you're going to write these all near your restaurant graph. And for each one, what you're going to do is that you're going to work as a group, and you're going to use your chart. So you're going to use this changes in demand chart. And you're going to use it and figure out which factor on your chart am I using in the example. So which factor am I using? And then you're going to draw what happens to the demand curve. Does the demand curve shift to the right or to the left? So we'll do the first one together. So don't worry about if you haven't written down all the sentences yet, because I'll give you time to do that. So let's do the first one. The first one says there will be a 2-for-1 special on Saturday. Okay, if there's a 2-for-1 special on Saturday at this restaurant, what factor am I using to change the demand for this restaurant? So go back and look at this chart. Go through and look at it. What factor do you think I'm using? If you said expectations, you would be correct, because we're talking about Saturday and today's Friday. So we're not talking about today. So this is talking about on Saturday. So this will affect the demand for the restaurant today. So if today's Friday and they're going to have the 2-for-1 special on Saturday, that means that your demand today will decrease, and you'll have a left shift in demand today. Remember, whenever we're talking about demand, we're talking about the demand for this product now. All right, what I would like you to do now is that I want your group to work on the other 5 examples that are on this screen. So I would like the sub to pause the video, and I want you to work as a group. Make sure you have written down all the sentences, and then I want you guys to use your chart to figure out what factor am I using, and then draw what happens to the graph. So pause the video now, and then you can proceed to get the answers. Okay, hopefully everybody has at least gotten a guess on the factor and what happens to the demand curve. So let's go through these. Let's see how you did. This restaurant fails a health inspection. So factor, if it fails a health code inspection, this would be consumer tastes. If it fails an inspection, it's as good as a bad review. People aren't going to want to go there, so it's going to cause a left shift in demand. Now, this restaurant now offers a menu in Spanish. So if they offer the menu in Spanish, it's not saying the menu is only in Spanish, but it has a Spanish menu. This is going to appeal to a particular demographic. So it's going to appeal to a particular segment of the population. If that happens, then it's going to appeal to that group. So as a result, it's going to cause a right shift in demand. Number 4, a competing restaurant gets rave reviews on Facebook. Since it's talking about a competing restaurant, we're talking about a related good. We're talking about a substitute. And if that happens, if a substitute gets better reviews than the restaurant we're talking about, that means the demand for our restaurant goes down and to the left. Remember, we're always talking about the demand for the original good. So if that's talking about Applebee's or Texas Roadhouse or TGI Fridays, whatever our original restaurant was, that's going to cause a left shift in demand for that restaurant. Number 5, you get a raise. If you get a raise, this is going to be income, and restaurants are normal goods. If we get more income, that means that we are going to be willing to go to them more often, so this is going to cause an increase in demand. Lastly, more people move to the Indianapolis area. This is going to be population, the amount of people in the area. If the population increases, then that means that there is more demand out there, so our demand shifts to the right. Okay, how'd you do? Hopefully everybody got it. If you have any ones in particular that you have questions on, I will entertain those questions when I come back to class. What I want you to do to the rest of today is that you are going to get a packet of articles. In the packet of articles, it's going to be a thick packet, but there are 4 articles in there. So each person is going to choose a different article. So while you are reading, keep in mind that you are going to have to do the 4 things on here. So I'll have the sub pass out the articles, and she can put this slide back up on the screen. So hopefully you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks.